Our second snowstorm of the month didn't bring us much snow, but don't be fooled. The roads are still coated with slippery, slushy snow and ice.
Here's a time lapse from today's snowfall in downtown Norfolk. The question tonight, how long will this stick around this time? The snow isn't falling as fast as it was earlier, but it's still coming down.
Jeff, what's in store overnight and, of course, into tomorrow morning?
Well, cold air for sure, and we're still talking about snow for another couple of hours. In fact, another several hours or more down across northeast portions of North Carolina. It has already ended for the most part from Richmond over to about Williamsburg. Just a couple of light flurries left, and you can see the heaviest bands indeed swinging across areas west of the bay, through the bay, and now over to the eastern shore. Colonial Courthouse up in Williamsburg. In fact, let's go back to that one just really quickly. I want to show you. I mentioned Williamsburg, how they're still getting a little bit of snow, but starting to see the clearing from the west. This is a picture from the Colonial Courthouse. This is courtesy of history.org. And you can see a nice little blanket of snow, couple of inches in general up there. This is the view from Hampton. I've been watching this one quite a bit throughout the evening, and every so often there's somebody walking or even skateboarding. I guess they're walking. They're moving pretty quickly, aren't they? But here's another car that comes along, and the cars, even though the street is completely covered in snow, are still making some decent progress. So again, streets are very slippery, but if you're just careful and you have a four-wheel drive, certainly you can handle it. If not, stay off the roads. You can see some of these lighter areas are where it is not snowing very heavily. If I change the pattern and show only the moderate snow, that's what we have right now. Extreme northern portions of the ocean front, back inland here from Kempsville, back down through areas of Chesapeake, another little line in western Chesapeake near the Dismal Swamp, more pockets here across Suffolk, a few tendrils or fingers up here on the peninsula where it is still snowing light to moderately, and the eastern shore certainly still getting a few heavier areas as well. All of this is going to take another couple of hours still to get out of here, so we're going to add on, a little bit of an accumulation, not a lot, maybe another inch roughly to what we have seen already. This is the ocean front. Same thing down there. Reports of anywhere from an inch to 2 inches of snow. A little more, obviously, once you get back inland. Skyview right now shows the visibility not as reduced as it was. We had started out saying 1 to 3 inches of snow. Then we upped it to 2 to 4. I was saying all evening, probably be right with both of them because it'll be about 2 to 3. That is what we have for the most part out there right now. But if we get another inch, that would put it up again right into what we eventually ended up going today. Here are some of the numbers so far. Gloucester Point, 3 inches. Chesapeake, 3 inches. Portsmouth, 3 inches. Hampton, 3 inches. Wakefield, that's in a couple of hours old, 2.2. Norfolk International, also a couple of hours old, about 1.9. I'd say we're closer to 2.5 here or so in the Ghent area. Suffolk right at 3 inches as well. So you can see we're coming in generally around 2 or 3 inches. Talk more about the temperature, the fact that it will stay very cold just early tomorrow. Then we'll see improving conditions. I'll have all that in a couple of 60-degree forecasts, believe it or not, in my outlook. That's coming up.
All right, Jeff, thank you. While crews across the area work to clear roads, some people in Norfolk are dreading more snowfall.
They say, of course, the streets have not been plowed, meaning it is a mess out there. Chanuher is live in Norfolk in one of those areas.
Well, that's right, David and Regina. I'm in Ghent right now, and it is much colder right now than it was earlier today. And right now, there's also more snow than there was earlier today. Right here on Collie, this is one of the roads that people who live in this area say is normally plowed when snow comes down like this. So last week, when there was that major snowstorm, people here say Collie was plowed, but what they're concerned about are the side streets like this one here. This is Baldwin Avenue. If you look down that way, you notice that it is a little bit more, there's a little bit more accumulation there than there's on Collie here, and that's what these people are stressing about. Just when people in Ghent thought they were in the clear,
it's falling a lot faster than I thought it would.
More snow hit the area.
It's sticking a lot faster than I thought it would. I didn't think it was gonna stick as well as it is.
It's not what Brianna Minnick wanted to see Wednesday after having just dealt with side roads throughout the city that weren't plowed.
It was chaos, just because it compacted into ice, and it was just, your car was sliding all over the place, and it was like you were driving through potholes.
For years, Jim Clanton has lived on a side street in Ghent, and he agrees with Brianna. Snowfall piles on the concerns about how long it halts the smaller roadways.
The trees can cover the sunlight from hitting, and it takes forever for it to melt here. So it's pretty bad. It takes a few days for it to melt.
The city of Norfolk says once the snow accumulation hits 2 inches, they send the plows out to hit the main streets. Before that, brine and salt are put down.
I get it. They can't invest as much money probably in the side roads, but that would be awesome.
Take your time, keep enough space between you and the person in front of you, and keep your eyes around your car at all times.
Just by looking at the snowfall, though, Brianna thinks this time around things will be just fine.
I don't think it's going to be as bad, and I just get prepared, I guess.
And all those people I spoke with say, they are expecting the streets to be a little bit messy tomorrow morning when they get up, but they're going to do the best they can, whether that's shoveling themselves out or helping other people around the neighborhood shovel themselves out. They're going to just make the best of this. Live in Norfolk, Chinu Hart, 13 News Now.
While public schools in the 7 cities made the call early, they will be closed again tomorrow. Most kids have had about 7 snow days in the last 2 weeks.
That includes schools in Newport News, where Robert Boyd found some families growing anxious about all those snow days stacking up.
Well, students here at Warwick High School should have been studying for their midterm exams next week, but instead they were home watching TV or outside throwing snowballs, and some students we spoke with said they're afraid they could fail.
What's your biggest concern regarding the test next week?
If I'm going to fail or not, because I haven't got all my classes or nothing.
Do you think you're prepared?
No, not really, because I haven't been to school in like a week, so.
Actually, when you count snow days and holidays, Ayanna Iverson and the rest of the Newport News student body have only been to school 3 days in the past 4 weeks.
It's hard because you come to school and then you gotta make up work, you don't got time to study, so if you fail the exams, your grade's gonna go down.
Because of all the snow days, Newport News School Board Chairman Gary Hunter said students will not be penalized if they do poorly on the exams, and there is a chance the exams could even be moved back another week. Parents have mixed reactions.
So they need more time to prepare. It's unforeseen occurrences, so they should be given more time.
Others say the exams should go on as scheduled.
As far as exams and all that, they got more than enough time to actually study because they got all the days off to do that.
Then there is April Cofield. Her daughter has special needs. She said not everything you miss at school can simply be made up at home.
It's very frustrating because with kids with Down syndrome, we have to keep them consistent. It has to be a repetitive thing. And with her missing, I'm having to do all this plus go to work.
For a complete list of school closings and delays throughout Hampton Roads for tomorrow, go to our website, 13newsnow.com. In Newport News, Robert Boyd, 13 News Now.
Superintendent of Virginia Beach Public Schools today trying to reassure parents, students, and teachers that a lot of thought goes into whether to call off school. Tomorrow, Virginia Beach schools are closed again. Today, the beach, it was only district in the 7 cities to do an early dismissal instead of a complete full day off. Families we talked to had mixed reactions about more time off from school.
Of course, it's not an easy call to close school. We're always paying careful attention to the weather, and the timing can be really difficult, but we want to try to make sure first and foremost that safety is our top priority.
Dr. Spency wants to be sure that all students and staff can get to school safely, and he's asking everyone to please be patient.
Some businesses remained open tonight at the Virginia Beach oceanfront despite the snow. We found that others were forced to shut down. At Rudy Inlet, all whale tours were canceled today and will also be canceled for tomorrow. Captain Skip Feller says the last snowstorm shut down tours for several days and really took a chunk out of the business he counts on during the off-season.
We lost at least a week, and then a lot of it we have to get the snow off of the boats and people have to be able to get here. It's $2,000 or $3,000 per trip that you lose.
The captain tells us the goal is for the whale tours to be back up and running safely for customers on Friday. A state trooper was hurt in a wreck in Newport News. Take a look at these pictures from state police. We're told a driver was going too fast this afternoon and rear-ended the trooper on I-64. Near the J. Clyde Morris Boulevard exit, the trooper was stopped on the left shoulder of the interstate, helping out at the scene of an accident. Medics took the trooper to a hospital. That trooper is expected to be okay.
That crash was among the 250 the troopers have responded to since midnight. They helped another 126 stuck drivers. Those are the latest numbers from this afternoon. State police have not